Morning guys, Moorhuhn here. Today I want to talk about farming in herosiege. We generally look at what you can farm first. So as a baseline we talk about farming general areas, farming, mining, act bosses and dungeons. We rate this by difficulty, efficiency, experience and miscellaneous. In the end, I will summarize my farming strategies and the best overall areas you can farm. So all of this is based on my own opinions, so if you have other opinions, let me know. Then let's talk about the rating. Difficulty. Difficulty means, is it mechanically difficult? Does it need a lot of gear or something like that? Efficiency. How worth is it your time? Like how good is the profit per hour and stuff like that. Experience. Like how good is the experience for your character doing the farming method, because hero levels are important. And then miscellaneous. Can be anything, like is it versatile, does it provide additional drops, is it party viable, is it extremely boring, or etc. Then let's start out with general areas. So general area farming is a great way for mindless farming and works well in party play and has a very low point of gear you need. It's very easy to entry this gear or this farming method. Like the difficulty is 4 out of 5, it's fairly easy. Then efficiency is okay. Like you get your experience, you get your loot, etc. It's nice, but it's not like top notch. Then experience is good, generally good. Probably the second best thing you can do for experience, just running areas. And miscellaneous is, well, you don't really get anything special while doing this, so it's just areas. Some mining, but nothing special overall. So let's talk about the different areas. Here we talk about density, layout, miscellaneous, dungeons, and act bosses. Outskirts of Inferno is the first area in the first act, and that makes this a great farming point for the first few hours or minutes in Inferno. So the density generally is not that great, and the layout is not that great either, but it has two very good miscellaneous points. It has lots of keys, so you can fill up your keys in this area for going further later on. And when you reset the area, you don't spawn at the waypoint because it's the first area. You spawn right next to the entrance, so you can just step right and press F or whatever your button for that is and go right straight into the area again. So it's very quickly to reset this area. Then it has no dungeon and no act boss. The second area is Pumpkin Patch. It basically is the same. It has bad layout, has bad density, but it has a pretty good dungeon. And that's pretty much all about the Pumpkin Patch. You only want to farm it if you want to go for the dungeon. And the village. The village generally is a pretty good area. It has good density, it has a good layout. It has nothing really special about it, but there's a dungeon, and the Dark Tower is a pretty good dungeon. We'll talk about that later. Then we've got King's Garden. King's Garden generally is a very, very good area. You've got a pretty decent size area with lots of monsters, a very open layout, a ton of chests, a ton of relics and keys, so that's really good. And it has an act boss. And yeah, it has Gurak, and Gurak overall is pretty good as well. So then we've got Dry Hills. Dry Hills is one of the best areas in the game. It has very good density, very good mobs, it has a very, very good layout, it's just an open field, and it has a shitload of mining and the Shadow Realms, because the Dry Hills have a very little variety of different layouts that exist, and this leads into a lot of Shadow Realm and mining spawns. It has no dungeon and no act boss. Then Moorhuhn Desert is basically the same as Dry Hills, but with a little less Shadow Realms, a little less mining, but with the Dome dungeon, I forgot the name, the Moorhuhn dungeon, and it's the single best dungeon in the entire game. So try Moorhuhn Desert farming is very, very good. Then we've got the Pyramid 2. Pyramid 2 generally is a good area. It has an open layout, it's not too big, has quite a few monsters, not like insanely many, but a good amount of monsters, and has the Anubis boss fight. This makes it a pretty good area because you can farm it and go for Anubis. Anubis is pretty worth it as well. Then we've got the Highland Mines. There are some people who like the Highland Mines, I personally don't, but I still have to say it has a good density and a good layout, and it has the warm monsters that split, so this makes this area very good for experience. Then we've got the Devil's Breach. Devil's Breach generally is as well a good area. It has the Damien boss fight and is pretty open, some trees and stuff like that, but it's not too much, and a good density as well. We've got the Depths of Hell. It's pretty much the same as Devil's Breach, but with Satan as boss. And then we've got Mevius Manor. The name got changed into Unconscious Mind or something like that, but yeah, good density, good layout. It's a very open area, and it has the Mevius boss fight if you want to do that, but I don't know. But yeah, let's talk about mining. Mining is, yeah, very good. Mining provides much wealth with little effort. Dry Hills is the best area for mining currently, and the metal detector is very important. So the only problem with mining is that it does not work in party play like at all. Because when one person mines, all others lose the mining vein, and this means, yeah, only one person can mine in a party. In difficulty, it is very, very easy to mine. You only need the mining level, which is a countdown now, which is very good. Then efficiency. Efficiency is kind of special here. It has 3 stars generally. It's a good way to farm rubies and stuff like that. But if you have the metal detector, it jumps to 5 stars. It becomes completely insane. Like, you can farm mining so quickly that it's like the single best thing you can do in the game. It's extremely boring, but it's very good. Experience is very bad, especially when you go with metal detector, because you are not going to kill many enemies. And then miscellaneous, it's pretty decent. You've got the cool stuff like mining tokens, like upgrade tokens, satanic dice, satanics, crafting as well, and yeah, it's overall pretty good. Then let's talk about egg bosses, and here we talk about difficulty and this order. Generally, egg bosses give rubies on every kill and have a higher chance to drop satanics. I've never seen an egg boss drop satanics, but Elias said they do, and we trust Elias. Don't question Elias. So let's talk difficulty. Egg bosses have a very high gear point to start with. Like, you don't want to fight an egg boss for 30 seconds. You want to go in and one-shot him, because egg bosses can be dangerous, all of them except for Satan. And yeah, generally you want quite a lot of damage to start farming egg bosses. Then efficiency is pretty good. Especially with the changes we've got in this patch, we can just jump into the area, go into the egg boss, kill the egg boss, done. Like, we don't have to kill 150 monsters before that or something like that. Then experience is very bad, especially if you go straight into the boss room. You only kill like the enemies in front of the boss room and like the 4-5 packs you find before you find the boss. And miscellaneous, yeah, that's a lot of good things you can find at bosses. Like the parts for the Uber, Damien fight, and satanics, set pieces, upgrade tokens, stuff like that. Then let's talk about the different egg bosses. And we talk about loot, difficulty, free room, best boss duration, and pre-area. So Gurak. Gurak is the first egg boss you encounter in herosiege, and he is not that difficult, but he has some dangerous mechanics, and he is a good thing you can farm while farming for relics in King's Garden. But yeah, you should take care here, because sometimes he is very dangerous. Then the Reaper. The Reaper generally is the worst, nearly the worst boss in the entire game. It has good loot because you get the Reaper item for the Damien boss. I forgot what the name is. But for the Damien Uber boss you get the Reaper item. The difficulty is really annoying because he has one-shot mechanics with the skulls. The pre-room is really terrible because it has an incredibly annoying puzzle. The boss duration is incredibly bad because of the skull face, and yeah, the pre-area is a snow area. Nobody likes snow areas. Then Anubis. Anubis is a very good boss loot-wise. It has the Anubis set, which is an incredibly good set. Then it has the what's called the Anubis Ankh you need for the Oberdamien fight as well. But the Anubis fight is one of the more difficult fights. It has the flying electro bolts and stuff like that. It has a pretty decent pre-room, but it is not good enough to give it a golden star here. And yeah, the boss duration is okay because you can just jump in and one-shot him. And the pre-area is pretty good. It's the Pyramid 2. That's okay. Then let's look at Damien. Damien is the single best boss in the entire game in my opinion. You can jump straight in, have no puzzle, fly through the first room and then just one-shot the boss. And reset. It's so good. And this is the wrong order, but it does not matter. Then Damien's second phase. Damien's second phase has many problems, but it gives the Damien part for Uber Damien. So if you want to do Uber Damien, you need to do Damien's second phase, not first phase. Then the difficulty is quite annoying because of exploding platforms and stuff like that. It's not cool. It takes ages to do the boss because of the splitting phase. And yeah, the pre-area is pretty good. Then Carp King. Let me just not talk about the Carp King, don't do it. Then Satan. Satan is pretty good. He is very easy. Even in Inferno he does not deal any damage with any skill. He drops good loot. Satan set is great. Difficulty is easy. Pre-room is could be better. Boss duration is fine. You can jump in, one-shot him. And well, you have to kill the hands first, but that's not really an issue. And yeah, the pre-area is good. And then we've got Mebius. Mebius is, I don't know. The Mebius set is great, but the boss is very difficult. Has several one-shot mechanics, or is it several? He has a lot of mechanics that deal a lot of damage. The pre-room is good. Just have to kill a few enemies to get in. The boss duration is absolutely terrible. Yeah, but the pre-area is good. Then let's talk about dungeons. Dungeons are, well, great. They provide a good satanic drop rate and bonus drops like upgrade tokens and reroll tokens. Most dungeons provide bonus drops tied to their theme, like the red dungeon provides more poison satanics, the Moorhuhn dungeon provides more wind satanics, etc. Then let's talk about difficulty, efficiency, experience, and miscellaneous again. Difficulty, you need a lot of gear to farm dungeons good. You really want a lot of damage and a lot of reduction and kept resistances because dungeons are 100 levels or something like that higher than the general areas, so they deal a lot more damage and have a lot more life than normal areas in Inferno. You want to be properly geared. Then efficiency is very good. Like it does not come to mining, but it's a very good way to farm quickly. Then experience. Experience is incredibly good. Like there's nothing that comes close to farming dungeons. Especially the Moorhuhn dungeon. I would give, if we would only talk about Moorhuhn dungeon, experience would be 5 out of 5. Like by far, maybe even 6 out of 5. Like it's the single best area in the entire game, based on my opinion. And yeah, miscellaneous, I talked about that. Upgrade tokens, reroll tokens, etc. It's great. Then the different dungeons, we talk about density, layout, and miscellaneous here. And we've got the red den. The red den is, yeah, not that great. It has a good layout. You can just run a circle and then a big room. That's good. But otherwise, it's very uninteresting. And we've got the Pumpkin Cellar. Pumpkin Cellar generally is a good dungeon. And the density is okay. It has a good layout, just one circle, one big room. And it has the ruby chest at the end. So a special chest that can drop mythics, relics, wormhole keys and stuff like that. It's a good chest. Then we've got the Black Tower. Black Tower has, in my opinion, a very bad density and a very bad layout. But it got changed that the last skeleton in the 3rd floor drops up to 8 runes. This can be very good for farming runes. So keep that in mind if you want some runes, like, and play hardcore where trading basically is unavailable. And yeah, we've got the Forgotten City, the Moorhuhn dungeon. This dungeon is the single best dungeon in the entire game. Straight up. It has incredibly good density. It has a very good layout. You can, with basically no backtracking, run a big circle or 2 big circles and then go into the 2nd floor. And yeah, it's just the single best dungeon for experience as well. That's why we've got the miscellaneous tag. It's like really, really good. But yeah, let's talk about my personal farming methods. And I've got 4 routes I currently do, and most of them take place in Act 3. So my first route is I start in Dry Hills and reset until I find mining. My metal detector says, hey, yeah, that direction, mining, okay, let's start the run. Then I mine all ore and progress into the Moorhuhn Desert. There I look for ore again, and then I clear the area and look for the Moorhuhn dungeon. If the dungeon is there, I go in and reset the run after. If not, I progress the run until I fight Anubis and reset after Anubis. This is a very versatile run. You have 4 areas you run, and there's like lots of different color schemes and stuff like that, so it's enjoyable for the eyes, I would say. Then we've got the second, it's reset Dry Hills until you find mining, repeat, profit. Just mine. Do nothing else, only mine, and only do this when you have the metal detector. Then farm Moorhuhn Desert until you find the dungeon. Always reset, go a circle, check if dungeon here, go, yeah, dungeon, reset. Very, very good farming method for experience. And then, yeah, 4th, run Damien first phase. I'm a big fan of Damien first phase boss rushing. I just go in, run a circle, mostly the portal is very close to the waypoint, go into the Damien fight, kill him, and it's done. Well, these are my farming methods. If you have any questions or recommendations, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.